You wake up, stretch, and for a moment you think, today will be different. But then the alarm, the phone, the bed's comfort, and the day just fades away. What really happens when laziness wins? And, maybe more importantly, what if laziness isn't a failure of character but a signal your brain is sending? Today, we'll unpick why that feeling of "I don't want to do anything" shows up, and explore gentle, scientifically grounded shifts you can make to find momentum again. We'll talk about what your brain is doing, how small changes help, and why this isn't about forcing yourself, but about working with how you think, feel, and live. There's a misunderstanding many of us carry. We assume when we procrastinate or do nothing, it's because we lack discipline or willpower. Yet research into human motivation and procrastination suggests a more nuanced picture. Imagine this. You intend to do something, write a report, clean the room, study, but for some reason you don't start. It's not always laziness. More often, your brain silently compares the cost of effort right now with the benefit you'll get later. If that benefit feels distant or small, it whispers, "Nah, not worth it." This idea is part of a well-established theory of motivation. According to it, procrastination often stems from a type of discounting. Our brain undervalues future rewards. As a result, even tasks that matter can feel meaningless in the moment, so we avoid them. A different way to start, small steps that break the freeze. Rather than viewing tasks as big, heavy boulders you have to push all at once, try imagining them as a path made of many small stones. You don't need to climb the whole mountain today. Instead, take one small step, maybe just sit in front of the desk, or open the document, or make the first line. That tiny act, even if it feels meaningless, reduces the initial resistance. It turns a monolithic, scary project into something manageable. Psychologists call this kind of approach chunking, breaking large tasks into tiny, doable pieces, which makes starting a lot easier. Often, once you start, even just a little, momentum builds. The initial inertia is gone, and the next step feels slightly easier. Over time, these small steps accumulate and change how you approach work, goals, and habit building. If you like this, hit subscribe and drop a quick comment. I'd love your thoughts. Reconnect the task with what matters to you. Part of the struggle comes when tasks feel distant, meaningless, or forced. If you see something as a chore, "I have to do this," motivation is harder. But if you connect the task to your identity, your values, or what you care about, things shift. For instance, instead of cleaning just because it's expected, you could view it as creating a calm space where you can think clearly, relax, and feel at peace. Instead of studying because you should, you might aim to grow, learn, or build a future that matters to you. When you act out of identity and meaning, effort becomes less about discipline, more about authenticity. That often means you don't rely purely on motivation, which can come and go, but on a deeper sense of purpose and consistency. Shape your environment to lower resistance. Willpower is limited. If you give your brain too many decisions, distractions, or obstacles, it will often choose the path of least resistance. So, make the easy path the right path. Put things you need visible. Remove distractions, plan small cues, and build habits around triggers. For example, shoes by the door if you want to walk, a clean desk if you plan to write, a simple if-then plan. If I finish breakfast, I'll spend 10 minutes tidying. These small environmental shifts act like gentle nudges. They don't demand heroic discipline, they just quietly steer you toward action with less friction. Take care of your energy. Body and mind matter. Finally, never underestimate how physical and mental well-being influence motivation. When you're tired, stressed, or mentally cluttered, even small tasks feel heavy. Fatigue, lack of sleep, poor diet, emotional overload, all increase resistance. Before trying to push through, ask, are you rested enough? Has your mind had a break? Are you physically okay? Sometimes the best way to finish a task is not grinding harder, but recharging first. When energy returns, even a simple, previously dreaded task can feel doable, and that's when you're most likely to build good habits. So, escaping a lazy era isn't about hating yourself, shaming yourself, or forcing discipline until you break. It's about treating yourself with understanding and working with how your brain, body, and environment naturally function. Try this. Pick one small shift. Maybe choose one tiny task to start tomorrow. Just sit, open a document, or wipe one surface. Or decide to change how you view one task, from chore to meaningful step. Or rearrange your environment to make action easier. Little by little, you might find your energy, momentum, and consistency returning, not as a brutal self-imposed demand, but as a gentle new rhythm. In the end, what if escaping your lazy era isn't about becoming a super disciplined version of yourself, but about becoming a more comfortable, kind, and aligned version of who you truly want to be. So, what small step could you take now to make tomorrow look a little different? Enjoyed this? Subscribe and tell me one small step you'll try tomorrow.